As a follow-up to the previous video on dashboard design, I wanted to show you a quick tip on how to add reports to a dashboard and also talk about when we want to create dashboards in general. So as you are aware, all our applications will have the standard application home dashboard, which is a good place to put things that a user might need in their first contact with an application. There are some default elements like the start panel that has all the start buttons, and essentially as I create start buttons, they will be added to this panel. There is also the suggested dashboards and reports. And also, if I wanted to have my own custom links with additional explanations and colors, I could create what we call a navigation grid, where we can customize individual links to wherever we want. Just like with reports, when we create dashboards, we usually have a target audience in mind. So of course, the application home will be some sort of entry into the application, but then we can make more specific dashboards for certain purposes or for a certain target audience. For example, one thing that users are often interested in is, well, what tasks do I have in my application? And of course, that's why we have the My Tasks view, where the user will see all the tasks assigned to them in the given application in the form of one table. And as the admin, we might find ourselves in the need of a report that will show us all the instances in a specific process, regardless of who they are assigned to. So some sort of full list of all the instances we have in our process. For example, here I have some sort of recruitment process, and I can see, like on the palm of my hand, all the instances that are currently registered in this process. If I have a second process called onboarding, this might need two separate views because I may have, for example, two workflows or two form types running in this process. And so that they are not mixed up in one view, I have two separate views, in this case, one for onboarding and one for equipment release, so that they do not occupy one big table. So I have these two processes across two reports with a total of 3 views. Let's say I want to juxtapose it all together. So I can build some sort of administrative dashboard where I have these 3 views from 2 reports all next to each other. Now, in this case, I have them one beneath the other, but of course we could edit these to have less columns and have them next to each other if we needed that. So I have my recruitment, onboarding, and equipment releases. Now, it's quite important to note that when I add these reports to the dashboard, I am essentially creating a copy of the report at the moment when I create it. So these are not embedded reports like they might have been in older versions of Webcon BPS. If I go to my reports and edit these reports, these changes will not be reflected on the dashboard because these reports on this dashboard, they were created essentially a copy at the time of when I was creating and adding those reports to the dashboard. And when you are copying over existing reports to a dashboard, you will also be creating data sets. And it's not a big deal, but to keep it clean, you might not want to double up on data set. For example, if you want to have 2 separate views in separate tables that come from the same report. Here, let me show you. I will switch on edit mode. And here, if I go to data sets, I see that I have just 2, one from the recruitment and one from the onboarding. So I want to keep it clean like this, where I don't double up on the onboarding data set. So here's how I'll do it. I will add a new dashboard. And since I want to copy over an existing report, I will go here, add existing report or report tile. And I will choose my onboarding instances. And you can see here that I have 2 views available here. So I will keep it like this. And what I will do now is just clone this. And because I didn't add this report twice, both these tables should connect to the same dataset. So I only added this dataset once. And then if I want, I can set one of these tables to the other view. So one is showing me the onboarding view, the other is showing the equipment view. And now, since these are essentially independent of the main reports, I can configure them so that they only show, for example, only the onboarding and do not have access to the equipment. So I can delete this one here. And now this top table is only locked into this one view. And I can do the same for the bottom one, or if I wanted to, I could just make the other view and mark it as default. That should work fine as well. And let's save that. And again, just to show, I'm not doubling up on the datasets. Both of these connect to one dataset. So in the end, on this new dashboard, these two views of my original report function as two separate reports, but both of these connect to the same dataset, and each of these reports just displays a different view.
Thanks for watching. Check out the rest of the Quick Tips playlist or sign up for the full course at academy.webcon.com.